Hey Jason, what's up, man? It's Nolan North, and it's your birthday, October 7th. So I wanted to personally wish you a very, very happy birthday. And Jason, let me tell you something, my man. You're going to want to ask for the right gifts on your birthday, right?
The first mods for God of War Ragnarök have arrived. The first thing players fixed Angrboda, the wife of the Scandinavian god Loki, making her white. However, the mod did not live long. The sites began to remove it for the reason of discrimination against black people.
So, good afternoon, bozos. How are you doing at the beginning of the week on the 7th of October? For those of you who are new to my channel, well, today is my birthday. So, girls, come and sing happy birthday to me. And don't they look absolutely beautiful? And you know who else's birthday it is today? Simon Cowell. And he will be popping up later on in a way that you would never ever imagine. But of course, folks, I've got two videos lined up today, both crazy stories in the world of gaming. And I probably should stress the last word as G-A-Y-M-I-N-G for the sake of that particular story. But today it is God of War Ragnarök, the game that nobody really cares about since it's now appeared on Steam. And for some reason, somebody made a mod, and I don't blame them for actually bypassing the PSN requirement. You know, the PlayStation game you downloaded onto your PC to play without actually logging in your credentials from your PSN, your PlayStation Network account, because you don't want Sony to track you, right? But guess what? They still want to do that because Sony are the dumbest gaming company as of, well, since The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes, hallelujah, it's the video show. And now, the man the BBC calls...
Jason King on Kung Fu Hot Dog.
But here we go, folks, from Permaband on Twitter X. NexusMods removes the God of War Ragnarök mod that disables the PSN requirement. Oh, what a big surprise. And it's true, when you go on down, the mod has now been removed, which is just absolutely terrible. It sounds like the worst form of censorship that you can not be surprised by these days, right? Now it actually gets worse because NexusMods doesn't finish there. Oh no, you know my gripes about Ragnarök, God of War, the fact they took a white Norse goddess called Angrboda and they made her black. Why? Because, well, sweet baby ink, right? They got their tentacles all over this game and they forced people to make it a bit more diverse for the diverse audience who are offended by God of War from 2018. By the way, Kratos voiced by Christopher Judge, who played Tilk in Stargate SG-1, and I'm on the second season of that already, by the way, and it's fantastic.
Woman, be silent.
That is not an answer, Tilk.
Christopher Judge is one of these actors who delivers a heartfelt performance, just like his predecessor before him, who's also a black actor. Again, I don't know why I've got to highlight the color of an actor's skin when they're portraying a non-black role. Doesn't matter. As long as they bring gravitas to the actual performance, who cares? But apparently, some activists out there still care if you want to call these things out. So look at that. The modder whitewashed the dark-skinned Angrboda from God of War Ragnarök, but the files did not last even an hour on NexusMods. And proof of the pudding, when you go over to look for the actual mod, not found. Try again, not found. This is Argentina. So people were in the midst of actually doing this. I mean, look at that. Again, you'd probably say the version on the right, why she got the cornrows in her hair, but in Viking times, they actually wore their hair like that. So it's not cultural appropriation as the more offended minorities would like to tell you these days. But on September the 19th, the long-awaited release of the PC version for the game of God of War Ragnarök took place, and many fans of the Kratos universe were waiting in anticipation for the correction of some inaccuracies the developers definitely sabotaged back in the day, right? But they could not be corrected on the console platforms because Sony had to make sure, and Santa Monica Studios, that could never ever happen. to which already in 2022 there were complaints from players during the release of the project on PlayStation. And the thing that I've heard from other people who have tried to play God of War Ragnarök is that it's a sludge to get through, because apparently there's a lot of cutscenes. Angrboda is this very annoying, playful character who's in love with Atreus, something like that. Look, I've not played the game, but if she's not in love with him, there's an attraction between them, because yeah, you got to take the white guy and the black girl and make it more diverse for a sensitive audience that nobody actually gives a shit about.
I'm not finished with it yet.
अब ये कौन है?
The paint is made from the bark of the ironwood trees.
Because you're black.
Just a few days later, an enthusiast named Comic Fan shared concepts and unfinished files for the dark-skinned heroine of God of War Ragnarök with white skin. Oh my god, you're banishing my favorite type of Caucasian women. Yeah, white chicks, I love them. Not the movie with Damon Wayans, I absolutely hated that. Although Jennifer Carpenter from Dexter looked rather lovely in that, and at one point you can even see her bum cheeks. Ooh! If you don't believe me, check the movie out. So they want to bring it closer to the actual description of the goddess herself, Angrboda, right? But oh no, NexusMods got wind of that, literally smelling their own farts, and had to ban that completely. So why does NexusMods actually exist? If you can have a black version of Kratos and walk around in a loincloth, why can't you have an accurate depiction of Angrboda as she was meant to be? The author himself did not despair and decided to post his version of the heroine on another resource called Game Banana. But in the end, his work suffered the same fate, and the moderators of the portal called the work of 3D modeler discrimination. You're kidding me? And trolling. No, again, Game Banana, who have obviously lost their bananas at this stage, are just siding on the woke of activism, lefty politics, sweet baby stink, who at this stage are clinging at the edge of a cliff so they don't fall into the ocean below, because they know their time is up. They know they're going to be finished, and I can't wait to see their demise. But I think these files are fantastic. Look at this one. Look at that. Let me just blow this up, actually. Can I blow this up? Will it let me? Yep, here we go. Look at that. I think she looks really beautiful. I actually prefer the blonde version of Angrboda. She looks incredible. Look at that. Wow, these files are amazing. Now, I'll tell you what, if we had this version in 2019 or 2022, whenever this game came out, I can't remember now. I'm so traumatized by the fact they actually made a few discriminate changes, shall we say. I mean, Thor was correct. He's a big blubbering hulk of a monster. He's actually correct. But when it comes to white females, we can't have too many of them in a Norse goddess themed video game, right? How does that actually work again? But there you go, folks. Sony have obviously lost their minds. When you remove people like Neil Druckmann from the equation and anybody else who bows down to Her Royal Highness, I think Sony might be in a good place again where it might start caring about gamers. But just like Ubisoft, Sony don't care. And I predict at some point, Sony might soon find out that karma will actually catch up with them, the same way it's done with the Ubisoft, and find themselves in a lot of trouble. Again, does anybody care about the remastered version of Horizon Zero Dawn, where Aloy has a digital pound reinstated because nobody wanted that version? Of course not. No one cares at this point. But someone who does care is me, from you to me, from me to you. That sounds like a song I knew back in the day. Today is my birthday. So if I didn't say it before my intro, I'm going to say it again now. How do I plan to celebrate it? Well, I've got a pizza waiting to go in the air fryer. I've got a banoffee pie to share with my mum later on. And I might show her an episode or two of Stargate or Flashpoint, the Canadian SWAT series. I'm now on season 5 of that one, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Although I will say the first 2 seasons were absolutely the strongest. In fact, in season 1, you had Tatiana Maslany playing an abuse victim, and she was absolutely killing it before she went into Orphan Black. But anyway, folks, if you want to send me some best wishes in the comment section below, feel free to do that. And if I were you, and if you were me, you might want to tread carefully when downloading a PlayStation game for Steam, and maybe exercising your own mods and manners by bypassing that ridiculous login requirement. And I'll catching me for the return of my next video.
Jason King's birthday on October 7th. Please kick him in the nuts.